Hey everybody, Donald here. Today I'm going to let you know my thoughts on the Genesis Dual-Temp heat gun. Have you ever wondered how shrink wrap clings to items so neatly? Or maybe you just find it oddly satisfying to see that plastic shrink up to the item. Maybe you're considering protecting some of the items in your collection, but you don't know where to start. Well, I've got some good news for you. I'm here to help you start your shrink wrap journey so that one day you'll feel confident enough to take on shrink wrapping all by yourself. If you like the content and want to see more of it, do us a favor here and like and subscribe and follow us at Collections Preserved on Instagram. When you subscribe, it really helps us out, and it doesn't take anything but like 2 seconds of your time. I purchased the Genesis Dual-Temp heat gun approximately 3 years ago, and it's been working like a top ever since. I purchased the item on Amazon, and it only cost me about $20 at the time. The item has since gone out of stock on Amazon, but I'll leave a link down below so that you can investigate it for yourself and see if it's the right item for you. At this time, I'm not sponsored by Amazon, I'm not sponsored by Genesis. Hopefully that changes one day. This heat gun has a simple plug-and-play design and has 2 settings so that you can get the exact amount of temperature to make sure that that shrink wrap clings up just tightly enough, but without going too overboard. Now, I use this item in a commercial capacity, so you know this item's constantly being turned on, turned off, picked up, put down, and generally I don't treat it as good as I could. I just toss it off to the side when I'm done with it. Thankfully though, I've never had a single problem with its operation. Once the gun is up and running, simply point it at the item and watch as the shrink wrap melts and hugs all of the curves of the item you're trying to protect. Don't point the gun at any item for too long. You might end up, burning a hole in the shrink wrap, or worse, burning a hole in the item you were trying to protect. Now thankfully, I've never damaged an item. The heat gun's heat, is fairly forgiving. As long as you're paying attention, you shouldn't have any trouble with it. Usually I find when I make a mistake, it's because I went too fast, realized I missed a corner, and then went back to try and fix a mistake. Usually when you try to fix a mistake, that's when you start to point the gun at the item for too long and some sort of defects will start to happen. You'll learn as you get better with the heat gun in your hand. Once you get the rhythm down and you're able to go over the item evenly, you'll have no stress, no troubles. The shrink wrap will simply cling to the item and it will just be perfect, smooth, and it will feel good and it will look good. Get your rhythm down, go over the item evenly, and always work from closed edges towards open edges. Then, once the item's been primarily sealed, you can close off the open portions by applying heat from the heat gun directly. Now, my heat gun actually came with some attachments that you can stick on the end of the heat gun itself. These are what they look like. Pretty, you can imagine different uses for different ones, but I primarily use this one. I find that this attachment provides the correct amount of distance between the heat and the item itself, allowing you to get real up and close to whatever item you're shrink wrapping without actually burning a hole in it. I've also found that this attachment is best for getting into the corners of square items and really just closing off the seal. The shrink wrap will fold around the attachment and seal itself off nicely. So, would I recommend this heat gun to somebody who's looking to shrink wrap for personal fulfillment? Absolutely. Shrink wrapping items is a cathartic experience, and the more you do it, the better at it you get. There's really nothing quite like getting your favorite collectibles, enjoying them, and then when you're done and ready to put them on the shelf to display, covering them in a protective plastic wrap that keeps them safe from dirt, dust, grime, and grease. Here at Collections Preserved, we specialize in shrink wrapping some of your most valuable collectibles. If you don't want to risk it, let the pros take care of it for you. Reach out to me at donald@collectionspreserved.com today so that we can set up a discussion and I can start preserving your collection so that your great-great-grandchildren and generations to come can enjoy it. Thank you.